The current Premier League transfer window is shaping up to be one of the greatest, if not the greatest, in Premier League history. High-profile players have moved. Arsenal have come in big with Gyökeres. The likes of Liverpool have already signed Ekitike, Florian Wirtz, Frimpong, and of course Chelsea came in early. You know, they started their business. João Pedro, Leandela, and the likes. They also have Kopama, who has been in the team, but he's speaking from even spectacularly now. But one major signing is looking like it's going to change the entire landscape, and that is if Liverpool can complete the signing of Alexander Isak from Newcastle United. Welcome to the channel, and if you're new, please leave a like, subscribe, leave a comment. It will do us a great deal of good. And so let's jump right into it. This is a big transfer window, and that is also an indication of how big the next Premier League season will be. I can personally say that 4 teams will be competing for the title. This is my opinion. Most of these things we know do not always shape up as black and white, but I see the likes of Chelsea, Liverpool, Arsenal, and Manchester City competing again for top 4 places. But for winning the title specifically, Liverpool signing Alexander Isak just changes the entire landscape. Arsenal have gone in big. They've come in with good, backup players, and then improvements with the likes of Gyökeres. But there are 3 things that this signing of Isak clearly proves and will mean for all the other teams vying for the Premier League title alongside Liverpool. Number 1 is that Liverpool are trying to make a statement. Liverpool just won the Premier League title. Who does that? Who wins the Premier League title and right there and then go back into the transfer window and spend over 400 million euros improving the squad? This is a squad that you can argue, even without much improvements, can still compete the very next season. I can understand signing Frimpong to replace Trent Alexander-Arnold, who went to Real Madrid. I can understand a fullback again with Gyökeres, excellent player. But spending, first of all, 150 million euros to sign Florian Wirtz, and then you didn't stop there. You got Ekitike for close to, I think, 80 million euros, and then you're changing the game and the landscape entirely by going to sign Alexander Isak from Newcastle. One, you have weakened an opponent, because even if Newcastle end up signing a Benjamin Sesko, we're talking Alexander Isak, who is Premier League proven, guaranteed 30 goals, moved from Newcastle to Liverpool. The stakes have certainly been changed in all ramifications. And what that means is that Liverpool do not just want to win titles, they want to establish themselves as a dominant force in Europe. It means that they are trying to compete not just in the Premier League title, in the Premier League, but also in Europe. So clearly, Liverpool are trying to make a statement. You know what happens when players sign, when clubs sign very big players. Even before, going into games, opponents are on the back foot. They expect Liverpool to attack. Just like what happens when you play a team like Barcelona, they expect it to be a very difficult game. They come with the mindset of being on the back foot, and that's a very big way to start your season. The second thing is that Liverpool are favourites to win the Premier League as we speak. The likes of Arsenal have a prolific team, very solid teams. They've set up the team so nicely, adding Gyökeres, a game changer, and before the end of the transfer window, they're likely going to add Eberechi Eze. But even with that, Liverpool will still be favourites to win the Premier League title. If nothing dramatic happens, like major injuries to their key players, they will still be favourites. Why? Because they are simply solid in every department and they have depth. Imagine an attacking force of Mo Salah, Ekitike, and Alexander Isak. It will take a very, very solid defence to stop them. It's not just about the head-to-head between the top teams, Chelsea, Arsenal, Manchester City, and the likes, but it is about how easily they can crush the teams below them and pick up the 3 points as they go. The third thing that this has basically done is it has also made Liverpool to be strong contenders to compete and potentially win the Champions League. Now, if you have a player like Alexander Isak joining a team that already that just won the Premier League, you start to want to compare them with even top European teams. I can argue that in Europe we have PSG, we have Bayern Munich, we have Inter Milan, we have Real Madrid, we have Barcelona, Dortmund, and of course the Premier League teams. You can argue that with the kind of setup Liverpool have, they are very well positioned to compete with any one of these teams in Europe. So if any fixture, nobody will want to play Liverpool across all the European top clubs. Nobody wants to play Liverpool right now. If they are able to close this deal for Alexander Isak, it just means that not only are they trying to establish themselves as the strongest dominant force, of course they've won 20 league titles, same as Manchester United, They've won 6 Champions League trophies, which is, I think, the highest also in England. There's no other English team that's won more Champions League trophies. They're even higher than Barcelona, who have won 5. So they're trying to establish themselves as a dominant force, not just in the Premier League, or the biggest Premier League club of all time, but also in Europe. They are favourites also to win the Premier League as we speak. We don't know what will happen between now and the end of the transfer window, but clearly they want to be favourites. And of course, they want to make a statement in the Champions League as well. So let me know your thoughts in the comments. What do you think this signing of Isak will do for Liverpool, and does he make them favourites? Please leave a like, comment, and don't forget to subscribe. And I will see you on the next one. Have a good day.